Today we'll be looking at another question in microbiology. A 33-year-old man from Mexico comes to your office complaining of a 2-day fever, sore throat, and shortness of breath. On physical exam, the patient is found to have a cervical adenopathy and a thick, gray, tissue-like layer covering the tonsils. Which of the following types of culture should be used to determine the organism infecting this patient? A. Lowenstein-Jensen agar. B. Bordet-Genjou agar. C. Chocolate agar with factors 5 and 10. D. Loeffler medium, blood agar, tellurite medium. Or E. Thayer-Martin medium. The answer is B. Loeffler medium, blood agar, tellurite. The patient presents with Corynebacterium diphtheriae infection. Listed above are the medias which can be used to clinch the diagnosis. Lowenstein-Jensen agar is used for Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Bordet-Genjou agar is used to culture Bordetella pertussis. Chocolate agar is used to culture Haemophilus influenzae. And Thayer-Martin media is used to culture Neisseria gonorrhea. And here's our next question. A hepatitis panel is ordered for a 27-year-old woman as part of a routine workup for abdominal pain. Results of serological testing are negative for HBe antigen and HBs antigen, but positive for HBs antibody and IgG and HBc antibody. Which of the following is the appropriate conclusion? A. The patient has been exposed to Hep B and recovered. B. The patient has been exposed to Hep B and is in the acute phase of the disease. C. Patient has been exposed to Hep B and is in the window phase. D. The patient has been exposed to Hep B and is now chronically infected. Or E. The patient has been exposed to Hep B but was never infected. The answer is A. The patient was exposed to Hep B and has completely recovered. To explain this, I'll just use this diagram and graph. So looking at this spreadsheet, we have our serum markers as well as their color indication for the graph down below. And here we have the phases of the hepatitis infection. Now, in the acute HBV infection, we have both the serum markers of HBs antigen and HBe antigens present, as well as the introduction of the HBc antibodies, or IgM. And here we can see that in the acute phase, all three of these serum markers being present. In the window phase, that we can see here in the dotted lines, the only thing present is the HBe antibody as well as the continually growing IgM immunoglobulins. And this is indicative of the window phase just before the body begins to fight back and creating more antibodies. Here in the chronic HBV infections, we have still the HBs antigen present, and then whether or not our body is fighting back or not, we might have the HBe antigen continuously present in the high infectivity chronic HBV, or we could have the HBe antibodies present, which is indicative of our body fighting back in the low infectivity chronic HBV. In the recovery phase, we would see an HBs antibody, HBe antibody, as well as the IgG. Now the IgG represents already chronic phase, or the later stages of the infection taking place, but it would also be present in the recovery phase. So here we would see all three antibodies present. And in an immunized patient, we would only see the HBs antibody present because they were never actually infected